Good morning, passport holders. Today, August 3rd, 2017, making today day 1007 of the vlogs. Last night's shift, or today's shift, depending upon how we're classifying these things now, was pretty interesting in the fact that I walked in, my first call, insta sale, $50. So, pretty excited about that. That gets me a tenth of the way to my new goal, which is $500. So I'll take it where I can get it, especially with the phones being as dead as they were once again. I think grand total I had 14 calls, 7 of which were technical support in some form or fashion, and you're not actually level. Let me fix that. There we go. As you guys can see, I'm actually using the Rode Lav mic, which I thought I had left behind at the house. It was just in my pocket and wrapped up inside of my Apple iPod earbuds as well. So got all that all taken care of. Shift done. What else? I don't know. Not much. I know I've got an episode of Big Brother waiting for me when I get home. And that's next up on the list. And then obviously at some point I've got to do the editing with the new clips from this wonderful little camera, which I know that the audio on board is crap, but I'm hoping that I'm able to use this external stuff in order to get the sound to sync and then get you guys really clean sound and 4K video while here in the car, if it all works, which it sure looks like it might. I'm going to be a very happy camper. All right, guys, back up and actually obviously dressed and ready to go for the day. It's 6:30 at this point. Bunch of issues. So really hustling through everything in order to try and get a ton of stuff done. Woke up, handled Clintus's captions, handled my initial vlog edit, and then tried to export it, and it failed. 2 issues though. This little camera was creating all kinds of, we'll call it, issues. Not stuff that I don't think I can work around, but it's touch and go if whether or not I'm going to keep the camera. Reason is that first and foremost, the audio syncing isn't exact, so there's about a quarter of a second where the audio is ahead, which then throws off the audio syncing if I'm syncing off of the iPhone's audio, which is concerning, to say the least. Which means that then I have to manually retime things, and that's ultimately why I stopped using the DJI Osmo, was because that was not working the way that it should. So that's something that I'm testing. I was able to get a version of that file, so it comes out as an MP4 file. I then did a conversion to an MOV file that seemed to resolve the issue inside of Final Cut Pro. We're going to see here in a minute as it's doing its export now. What else? Yeah, so that's kind of it. I'm just kind of in this weird kind of headspace about whether or not I keep the camera for what I'm trying to do. I mean, it can be useful in a non-audio situation, which there are plenty of those, especially things like time lapses. And this camera does have a time lapse mode. And given the fact that it's only $50 and it came with a plethora of mounts and other things, I'm kind of leaning towards keeping it, but keeping it like I'd keep the Osmo, which is it'll be useful for something if I'm out doing stuff, action shots, you know, hey, I go out with Clintus dirt bike riding, right? 4K camera strapped to my chest, cool, perfect. It just doesn't fulfill the core purpose of what I was looking for, which is 4K in the car, which I'm getting more and more wrapped around in my head that I'm going to have to just buy a 4K point and shoot, and that's going to have to be the primary thing, because that solves a lot of the problems simultaneously. It just I don't want to drop $500, nor do I have $500 that I want to drop on it, right? Obviously I will with the next paycheck that drops tomorrow, and then the commission my paycheck for next week or 2 weeks, and the commissions that'll be thrown on top of it. But I really wanted to take care of the issue with the car. I have a failing brake light circuit board. It's not currently dead yet, but it's on its way there. And so that's, you know, like I said, like a $450, $500 repair to get not one but both of them done, because apparently if one starts to go, the other one will go shortly after. And so I trust my mechanic on that front. It is what it is. Away from that, there was a huge rainstorm that came through earlier. Monsoon microburst hit here, downtown Phoenix. Leaky roof was leaky again. So right now I've got catching water, and I'm going to leave them there overnight. And good news. The export on the vlog just finished. I'm going to go review the footage and see how far the timing is off and things like that. But at the end of the day, yeah, I'm of mixed mind about whether or not I keep it. I will test it again tonight, so you guys will be getting shots from it again. This time I'm going to use the micro SD card that I was using in the Osmo, which is, I know, a rated 10, 128 gig, like can handle 4K video. The other one that I used was actually from one of the Contour Roams, and so it may have been a class 8, which may have been part of the reason why I was running into issues with flickering. So we'll check it, we'll see, who knows. But yeah, it's just been a good start here, and I'm ready to actually just sit down, watch CTFXC and Philip DeFranco, eat some dinner, and kind of get ready to go into the office today. I really wanted to do one thing in order to try and get some initial data for us to start to check and see if certain domain names have customer accounts on file with us already. But it's looking more and more like this vlog issue is going to prevent me from doing that. Alright guys, 8:15, and it's time for me to get going to work. What have I been doing the last couple of hours away from eating? The answer is I put up a post for some custom artwork to be done for my Nightside team. They're going to make shirts for us. They had one logo that somebody did that I just did not like, and I was not going to wear that shirt. And so I put up on Upwork, like I normally do for these things, and invited the artist who did the Captions Created logo and the artist that did the Red Alert social media logo to submit. They have not yet. So I got a couple other people, including one American here who I'm really interested in. I took a quick peek at his portfolio of work. It was interesting. Additionally, I've been working more and more on this domain tool. I finished the importer so that I can import a CSV into a database, which is not a big thing to do, but it still needed to get done and done correctly, and so I'm thankful that I did it. And then I got to the point where I was trying to execute the first piece in the equation for us, which is getting domain name registrars for all these people. So if I can get the domain name registrars, then that's a good thing. I got to the point where I was pulling the domain name registrars, displaying them on a web page for domains as I was cycling through a subset of them, so like 10 at a time kind of thing. But for whatever reason, the SQL query that I was creating inside the while loop wasn't actually updating the database, so I got to figure out what I've got wrong there. I suspect it's something stupid that, like, I just forgot to put a query variable or something in front of, or a query call in front of the actual query string itself, and that's why it's failing to actually update the database. But whatever, it's one of those things where fresh mind coming at it tomorrow will probably be enough for me. That stated, I am going to end up taking this mount to work so that I can hold up my iPad kind of up and above and away from me. I have a controller that should get here on Saturday, it's saying, so that I can turn pages remotely, which is actually something that I've been wanting for so long and haven't found a way to do. Tried to use the head gestures thing that now is in iOS, or has been in iOS for a while. Glitchy as heck, and if I had to turn to answer the phone, or if I had to turn to answer somebody who's yelling for me in the office, it would turn the page as well, so that's not a positive experience either. So hopefully with all this coming together, I'll be able to take advantage of my time while I'm there and it's slow to read a bunch. I think that would be a very useful thing for me to do. And so yeah, that's kind of it, guys. I'm gonna grab the last of the stuff that I need to take with me to work, which isn't much. I think everything else is already down in the car. So yeah, I'll catch up with you guys when I get to the office. I'm not bringing that camera because I was dinking around with the settings on it, and I think I may have made things worse, not better. So I'm gonna have to do some tests on that when I have some time this weekend, which starts in less than 12 hours. Super excited. All right, guys, it is 10 till 9 p.m., which means I've got 10 minutes to go upstairs, get settled, and clock in and get on the phones. Hoping for a very chilled shift, expecting it, to be absolutely honest. Call volumes from what I have been seeing externally are low today, just like they were yesterday, which means even fewer calls for me in all likelihood. So I'm perfectly okay with that. But yeah, that's kind of the deal. That's what's going on today, guys. I apologize for these very formulaic vlogs, but really I'm just trying to grind to get to the weekend where I can relax. And that starts in like 10 hours, and I couldn't be more excited about it. And yeah, I think that sometime before 2 a.m., whenever I take my lunch, maybe going over and grabbing some celebratory beers, because I was not. This has been harder than I thought it was going to be, and I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't think it was going to be this hard. But still getting things done. Happy with where things are at. Sunday night should be. I should be in a really good spot. Plenty rested, recovered. Had a chance to do chores and whatnot. So should be a little more interesting over the next couple of days, but I can't promise much because that I need to recover. But thank you guys so much for your time, your attention. This thing's yelling at me saying that I've been talking too long, so I'm going to end this vlog. But thank you guys again so much. I really do appreciate it. Remember, though, you never stumble upon opportunity by standing still, so go do cool stuff. Bye for now.